Kids?
2 boys, grown, and 4 grandbabies.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what's it like raising the boys and with being on the road? Because, you travel on the road all the time. I mean, I travel on the road all the time singing. You're out there. We were talking earlier about the time you spent on the Gaither tour back in the early 2000s, I think it was.
Yeah, 99 to 2006 or so.
So you know what that life is like.
Right.
You've lived it, being on the road. And what's it like with boys? Because I've got 2 boys of my own that are 3 and 7 now. So
wow. At
maybe
least
you can impart a little wisdom.
Well, you got FaceTime. And
that's right.
The only thing I ever tell young fathers, and this is true, the only finite thing you have is time. That's it. That's the only measurable thing you have. Money, you can make piles of money or not, but time is all you have. So I think my kids at least respected the fact that when I was home, I wanted to spend time with them. They understood. They didn't know any better. They never had another dad that did. It wasn't like they had a father that was home at 5 o'clock every night.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he goes away, and then there's this guy that's gone for 4 or 5 days at a time, and then home for 3 or 4, and then gone 5 or 6, and then home for a day. Or they just thought I worked at the airport until they got old enough to figure out that I wasn't intelligent enough to fly an airplane. But at least you got FaceTime. I mean, that would have made things different. But in hindsight, my son asked me about the grandchildren. He said, "What's so special about the grandbabies?" And I said, the difference between them and you was I was so wrapped up in making a living and putting a roof over your head and all of the things that go with that I couldn't experience your joy. I couldn't. I just didn't know how to. Yeah. I'm there for their joy. They're 3 and 5 and 6, and I love it. I mean, just the sheer joy of just discovering anything, doesn't matter. Took one to the golf course the other day. She just flailed away, flailed and finally hit one. And looks at me and smiles with 3 teeth missing. I go, man, you look like a homeless person.
I know that look because one of my boys, recently he's 7, so he's lost a few of his teeth, and so I know that look. Man, they just give you that big old grin, and it's toothless.
Every little accomplishment, every little thing, I want to be there for every one of them with my grandkids.
Yeah. How old are your boys now?
35. Aaron will be 36 next month. Matter of fact, his daughter was born on the same day of his birthday. And I looked at him and I said, "Boy, did you just get screwed, man." I said, in a year, she'll be 1 year old. Who do you think we're going to celebrate?
Right.
So I said, we can move you to September and then you can have a proper celebration. But August 28th, so he's 30, he'll be 36. And then Ryan is 32.
I mean, it's bad enough that, those of you that are watching that are grandparents, you can all just admit it. You just totally forget who we are once we have kids. Right? It doesn't matter about us anymore. It's like, bring the grandkids over. You can come if you want, but we just want to see the grandkids, right? So it's bad enough for that to happen. Then to have on the same day, the birthday on the same day, now we're celebrating, you pushed aside. We're celebrating this one today.
Yeah, he was 32 years old. I said, "Man, you're done. I mean, I'm sorry. We'll acknowledge. We'll wish you a happy birthday, but she's getting all the attention and
that's right.
And the cake. The cake is hers, man. You can have a bite.
And then you send them home.
That's it. That's the beauty too. Yeah. I mean, so we get nothing but the joy.
Yeah.
And that's important.
And what's funny is I'm the same age as your son you're talking about here. Yeah. So it's like I'm talking to my parent, my father about this whole thing, or my father-in-law. Yeah, you guys can have them, just don't give them all the sugar, don't give them all and then you guys just load them down.
Yeah, we went through all of that. Yeah, my daughter-in-law said, don't give them sugar. And Tammy said, "Oh, over my dead body." It's like I hand out cookies. One of you will betray me.